What do you do when Ranger Rick asks you for a referral? Hey, can you hook me up to those 3 people in your network? They'd be really cool to know. You're like, Ranger Rick, I know you to be a solid dude. You would not be asking unless there was a real need. What's the real need? And he gives you the real need. He gives you a valid reason to connect with said people. So you make that connection via email, flowery, nice, positive ripple emails to all 3 of them, tying it into him, individually, of course. Ranger Rick is like, yay! He lost his data pack, but he's like, yay, Ripple, man, it works. And then it is like crickets. You're sitting there waiting for an update. Ranger Rick, you lost your pack, dude. What happened? What happened with those people? Oh, man, that was awesome. I'll give you an update at some point. But I need 2 more connections. What do you do? What do you do when Ranger Rick is here and he looks like he's abusing you and you knew Ranger Rick was a good dude? You thought Ranger Rick was a good dude. But is he a user? Very possibly. Here's the deal. There are strings attached to any introduction that you make, and the person that you're making that introduction for owes you a response. Here's how it went. Here's what we talked about. Here's our follow-on action. If they need your support to either go back and reinforce why you made the introduction, or they owe you something. Maybe they were late and they owe that person an apology or made the apology, but they owe you an apology because you're the person that made the introduction. Be like, I screwed up. I was late for a meeting. I got there 15 minutes late. I don't want them to have a bad impression of me, but I don't want them to have a bad impression of you. You mea culpa. You throw it out on the table, but you owe it. There are strings attached to any introduction that you ask for. So for whoever is making the introduction, gets a full circle moment. They get an understanding of where you are, what happened, what transpired, so that if they run into any of those 3 people at the next happy hour, they're not caught off guard and go like, oh, that Ranger Rick guy, ooh. And then you look like a dumbass. That would not be good. So here's the thing, just don't do it. This is my PSA. Please don't ignore the person who starts the positive ripple. Cover off and share with them, good, bad, or indifferent, how it went, so that they feel compelled to help you again when you ask. And at the end of the day, if it works out, they also deserve all the credit as well. And so a mutual email that goes out to the individual and the person who made the introduction, thanking them for the glorious ripple that was created on their behalf, is also necessary and required.